Hey YouTubers, Cyberdyne24 here. Sorry I haven't been uploading any videos lately. I got a few that I need to upload, but I've just been so busy working at the cemetery, Gruel Brothers, Walgreens, my side business, that I really just haven't had a chance to do any kind of work, any kind of videos whatsoever, except for, I would say probably about 2 or 3. But today I'm here to do a little bit of update on the Husky 288 project. And, well, I guess one thing to show the actual update of the Husky 288 project is this. No, it is not the original. This is not the original crankcase that I have. This is another crankcase I picked up on eBay from a nice guy from British Columbia. Really nice guy. Plus also the difference between this the difference between this and the other crankcase I have is that it has a lot of the electronics, the wiring itself for the on and off switch. First part of the ignition module. As you can see with the husqvarna 288, there's actually 2 pieces to the ignition module itself. You have this module right here, which connects to the spark plug boot, and also you have the other spot right here where the actual box will go. I pretty much bought it just for the fact that I was able to get the oiler, clutch, and all that assembly, plus also all the other wiring and stuff like that. Also the chain tensioner. Looks like also the chain catcher. And also some needed bolts and stuff for the for other important parts too. I mean, as you can see, it's it's another crankcase, so to speak. Really don't need much of anything from it. Except for this front part here, some of the electrics, the wiring, and also some of the bolts and things like that here or there that I can just strip off this and get it going. Now, one thing I'm going to show in this video is I'm going to take apart the clutch and also take apart the oiler and see how this oiler is set up. Now, one thing I noticed when putting in the actual oil seals in the 288 is that with the 288, on the clutch side, you actually need the oil pump, to be able to install the actual oil seal itself. Because as you can see from my previous videos, the actual clutch side, there's a huge hole where the bearing is, and there's got to be other stuff that goes into that so that I can be able to install the seal correctly. Plus also the wiring's really nice. I spent about $60 on this, $66 actually alone on this. But with the oiler, the wiring, the clutch, the clutch drum, and also the sprocket, it's really worth it. I'm not going to really complain at all about it. And also the chain tensioner, because if I bought all this stuff, used, or if I bought it brand new, it would have cost me an absolute fortune. So today I'm actually going to take care of actually removing the clutch itself. As you can see right here, I already have something also preset as it is. Also have I have a tool preset as it is to take the actual clutch off itself. I'm going to try very hard not to actually break it. But knowing these clutches, they are extremely pain in the butt to actually take apart. So I'm pretty much just doing this on the other side so I can actually get more oomph out of it. Pretty much in a case like this, you try to find some kind of, I guess, wedge, so to speak, to keep the actual crank shaft from moving. Trying to find something. Ugh. Sorry for kicking that over. Trying to find something that I can use to wedge it in there so it doesn't. Yeah, trying to find something that this thing can actually, this thing will not. Now right here I'm just using a torque wrench with a 19mm socket. Another good way of doing this is actually using an impact wrench. I would recommend taking the impact wrench and putting on a low setting so that because you really don't need a whole lot of oomph to actually pull this thing apart. Pretty much all I did is I took a old spanner I found for when I was doing some cleanup on at the shop, so I was like, you know what, why not keep it anyway. Well, I could see that the actual clutch itself is actually in pretty good, usable shape. Now we just take the clutch drum off. Oh wow, this is actually pretty freaking sweet. This guy actually included an 8-tooth 3/8 sprocket, which is really nice. As you can see right here, here's the actual piece. This is the actual oiler itself. Now one thing I'll do is I'll go through my little treasure trove of tools and see if I can find an actual I try to sort of help get these things clean, because usually these things are filled up with pitch and oil and dirt. So a really good tool in that case is you can use like a little screw or a small screwdriver, but since these ones are really small, I'll just take a little pick, just work the pick around. Yeah, just pretty much work it around so I can actually just get some room in there. So I can actually set the oiler, so I can stick my Allen wrench in there and actually take out the bolts themselves. See, in doing that, I actually was able to get the bolts off. Here's just gonna. Oh, cool! I got the actual roller, the actual bearing itself. Looks like I might have to put this in with some WD-40 and stuff, so I can see if I can actually get the bearing to come out. Okay, That's number 2. Now we just got, looks like we got one more bolt to go. At least one more Allen screw to go, so I can actually pull this thing off. Okay, let's see if I can get more junk cleaned out of this. Having an air compressor would be nice to use this, but I'm not going to waste my time by busting that out. Alright, I got the thing going. Because pulling this apart will at least let me be able to see what exactly this oiler entails, so to speak. Just take a little spanner. As you can see, the worm gear itself is plastic, not brass. Some of these ones are actually made with brass, which is actually really, really nice. And there's the actual oil seal itself. So pretty much what I see right here for the actual oiler itself is you have a little O-ring that goes right here. Then all it does, you just simply you install it like this, which pretty much the oiler itself pretty much seals rest of the bearings up and stuff like that. You take the oil seal, place the oil seal in here, and pretty much you can use like a socket, and you can use a socket and stuff like that. But one thing you really have to make sure is that this socket actually is going to cover the outside of the ring itself. You do not want to damage any part of the ring, damage any other part of the ring itself. Because if you do that, you're pretty much just running the risk of actually destroying the oiler itself. And also I'm going to pretty much do a little bit more salvaging on this. Pretty much, like I said, the chain adjuster. The chain adjustment and stuff like that, I'm going to salvage, take that off. And that's pretty much it. I'm really hoping that this oiler itself actually works, because last thing I want is to buy this and find out the oiler does not work. So I'll probably hit this with some carb cleaner and just scrub it up and scrub this off, and then I'll install the actual oil seal itself. Well, thanks for paying attention, YouTubers. Greatly appreciate all the views and stuff like that. If you got any questions, concerns, comments, all you gotta do is just drop me a line. And believe me, you know what? If you're gonna do any kind of like obscene comments of anything of that nature, please, I mean, come on, we're all adults here. We really don't have to act like children. So, thank you, YouTubers, and you have a good one.